Who was the first president of the United States? Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, or Abraham Lincoln? The great answer is George Washington. The ancient city of Rome was located in which modern-day country? Greece, Italy, or Spain? The great answer is Italy. The Renaissance period began in which European city? Florence, Venice, or London? The great answer is Florence. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, or none of these? The great answer is Thomas Jefferson. The French Revolution began in which year? 1789, 1776, or 1804? The great answer is 1804. Which European explorer is credited with discovering the sea route to India? The great answer is Vasco da Gama. The Berlin Wall, which separated East and West Germany, fell in 1989, 1991, or 1995? The great answer is 1989. The Opium Wars were fought between China and which other country? Japan, Britain, or France? The great answer is Britain. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during World War II? Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, or Mikhail Gorbachev? The great answer is Joseph Stalin. The ancient city of Athens is associated with the birth of which political system? Democracy, monarchy, or communism? The great answer is democracy. The Industrial Revolution began in which country? United States, France, or England? The great answer is England. Ancient wonder hanging gardens Babylon was located which present-day country? Iraq, Egypt, or Iran? The great answer is Iraq. The Treaty of Versailles was signed after which major conflict? World War I, World War II, or American War? The great answer is World War I. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Angela Merkel, Margaret Thatcher, or Peru? The great answer is Margaret Thatcher. Golda Meir was Prime Minister of which Middle Eastern country? Syria, Israel, or Jordan? The great answer is Jordan. Which international honor was first awarded in 1901? Pulitzer Prize, the Booker Prize, or Nobel Prize? The great answer is Nobel Prize. What was Queen Victoria's husband called? King Albert, Prince Albert, or Duke Albert? The great answer is Prince Albert. Which African capital city was known during colonial times as Leopoldville, Cairo, Dakar, or Kinshasa? The great answer is Kinshasa. Who What killed the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1521? Plague, poison arrow, or shipwreck? The great answer is poison arrow. In what year were the 6 colonies joined to create the Commonwealth of Australia? 1751, 91, or 1931? The great answer is 1901. Which country did Austria declare war on to begin World War I? Serbia, Russia, or France? The great answer is Serbia. Which of these African nations disintegrated into a violent civil war in the 1990s? South Africa, Rwanda, or Tunisia? The great answer is Tunisia. With what Russian spacecraft did the space shuttle Atlantis dock in 1995? Mir, Vostok 1, or Soyuz 11? The great answer is Mir. What was a Benedictine monk allowed to own? His clothing, his Bible, or nothing? The great answer is nothing. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers were credited with which events? Hot air balloon, flush toilet, or submarine? The great answer is hot air balloon. The Library of Alexandria, Egypt, accidentally burned by Jules Caesar in which year? The great answer is 82 AD. In which state did Martin Luther King help organize 1995 or 56 bus boycott? The great answer is Alabama. Where is this the third oldest astronomical clock in the world and the oldest still in operation? The great answer is Prague. Who did the sporting events of the ancient Olympies honor? Athena, Zeus, or Apollo? The great answer is Zeus. In which Arab country was a Spanish protectorate established 1912? Libya, Egypt, or Morocco? The great answer is Morocco. What is the name of the great 12th century temple found in Cambodia? Forbidden City, Angkor Wat, or Khmer Rouge? The great answer is Angkor Wat. What was the nickname of German field marshal Rommel? The desert fox, the desert rat, the desert snake? The great answer is the desert rat. Which US president won a Pulitzer Prize? Barack Obama, Donald Trump, John F. Kennedy? The great answer is John F. Kennedy. What did Karl Marx say was the opium of the people? Love, fear, or religion? The great answer is religion. What country did the King Farouk rule from 1936 to 1952? Egypt, Iran, or Sudan? The great answer is Egypt. Which world leader was assassinated by member of her bodyguard in 1984? Indira Gandhi, Eva Peron, or Golda Meir? The great answer is Indira Gandhi. What country did King Farouk rule from 1936 to 1952? Egypt, Iran, or Sudan? The great answer is Egypt. Ferdinand Magellan discovered the Philippines in 1521 for what country? Spain, Italy, or Portugal? The great answer is Spain. What was the spoken language of the Incans? Incan, Peruvian, or Quechua? The great answer is Quechua. What are the Olmecs best known for creating huge stone heads? Machu Picchu or Mont Calendar? The great answer is huge stone heads. Which two European nations dissolved their union in June 1905? East and West Germany, Sweden and Slovakia, Norway and Sweden? The great answer is Norway and Sweden. 1909 saw the start of the Japanese occupation of which nearby nation? China, Vietnam, Korea? The great answer is Korea. Who authored the Republic around 375 BC? Socrates, Plato, or Aristotle? The great answer is Plato. Geronimo was a leader of which Native American tribe? Apache, Mohawk, or Cherokee? The great answer is Apache. In the 1950s, Ho Chi Minh led in a revolution against what group? French, Americans, or Chinese? The great answer is French. The Iran-Contra scandal of the 1980s primarily involved which Central American country? The great answer is Nicaragua. What is the name given to the ancient Sumerian form of writing hieroglyphs? Cuneiform or Hebrew? The great answer is cuneiform. June of 1999, Thabo Mbeki became leader of which African country? Zimbabwe, South Africa, or Libya? The great answer is South Africa. Where was the White Star Line Titanic built? Belfast, Glasgow, or Liverpool? The great answer is Belfast. Who was expelled from United Nations in 1971 when People's Republic of China was admitted? Japan, Taiwan, or Korea? The great answer is Taiwan. Thanks for playing this quiz. Drop in your score in the comment section.